Hi and welcome to Scrapbook.com. My name's Alexandra and today I have a fab bundle to share with you. This is the Scrapbook.com exclusive Sizzix Big Shot machine die cutting bundle, plus loads of dies. So let's take a look at those first of all. We have the nested circles and you get 6 of those in the pack. We have 6 nested squares for you and you get 6 nested rectangles plus 5 nested stars as well. So you get all of those dies included, plus the Big Shot machine that you need to cut them out with. We've also included the extended multi-purpose platform so you can work with embossing folders, big dies, all sorts of different mediums. Plus we've included these Ocean Sparkle cutting pads and the Sizzix Sandwich, which is a great easy reference tool. Whatever you're cutting, whatever dies you're using, you can flick through and find the appropriate tab in there and it'll tell you what sandwich to use. Today I'm also going to show you some inspiration with some of the cards that we have in front of me. So let's get started. So let's take a quick closer look at the card we're going to be creating. I've created this window using the nested squares here, and it opens up to these awesome little turtle guys, and I hope your birthday stacks up to be wonderful. Some of them I've used Crackle Accents on, some I have used Glossy Accents on to mix up how those shells look. We also did some heat embossing on the front here, so we have lots of stamping to do. The first thing though that I need to do is create this window. So for that I have a piece of Lawn Fawn green cardstock. I'm going to use 2 sizes of the square so you can see here how I've created that. So we have the inner and we have the outer to create our frame. I'm going to layer these on here evenly, like so. And I'm going to run this through the Big Shot that's included in your bundle. And this bundle is only available here at Scrapbook.com with all of these fab dies in. And the great thing is once you pop this out, it has this wonderful beveled edge on the dies. So you can see here, we end up with this perfect frame that I think gives it a really professional finish to your card making. Again, we're going to use this smaller square, so let's peel that one off. And we're going to grab our card front. So this is a piece of 8.5 by 11 cut widthways, scored down the center to create our card base. I'm going to grab some of the Glossy Accents we're going to use again later. And Glossy Accents also works as a really great adhesive. So I'm going to pop a thin line around. I'm going to open up my card. I always like to do sticking and layering with my card fronts open. And we're going to stick down our window ready to cut it out. So I'm going to grab that smaller square again and layer it inside here, and you'll feel it almost click into place when you get it in the right place. And we're going to cut that out again through the Big Shot. Make sure your card base is open, otherwise you'll cut through both layers, and we only want to cut through one so that we can stamp the turtles on the other side. You can see we have that fab window for our turtles to look through. Get that other piece of washi tape off. So here is that window in our card. So we're going to do some stamping with our Tim Holtz Tonic platform. I'm going to put my magnets down. I'm going to use this Waffle Flower Eat Cake birthday piece. And we're going to pop it onto here. So let's line that up first of all. So I'm going to stamp this out with some black ink. So I've got my stamp positioned there perfectly. And I'm using the Scrapbook.com black dye ink, which will give you a lovely impression. And the great thing about using a stamp platform is if it's not right the first time, you can go back as many times as you need to. But I'm going to add some firm pressure all over as it's quite a detailed stamp and there's some quite big solid parts to it. So you can see there how lovely that impression is and how great that looks at the bottom. You could also heat emboss it as I did on this card here. I used some Ranger Superfine Black embossing powder as well. So you can add different details to your cards. Let's remove this one. And now we can stamp the turtles, which is my favorite part. I'm using an art impression turtle stack. Now the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to work upside down again. I'm going to put my magnet on here to hold my card closed, and I'm going to position my turtles. So now if I position them here, I know that they're going to fit through that window perfectly. I'm also going to turn my platform around to be rubber. We'll pick up our stamp. Now I know that my card is up against these guides, so I can open it up. I can pop my magnets down. And when I stamp, my turtles are going to be there right inside of that window. Again, I'm going to use the Scrapbook.com ink. Because I want to colour in with alcohol-based markers, I want to use a dye or water-based ink. And I'm going to just do it once more, just for a nice strong black impression. Like so. Plus we want to add our sentiment about your birthday stacking up. So we'll add that down here too. I'll make sure I put this the right way around. Again, we're still on that rubber side because we're on rubber with the Easy Mount foam. And you can see there how we've got our sentiment there too. So let's do some colouring. So I have a couple of colours here of alcohol-based markers. I've chosen to use Copics, but you could use Nouveau markers too. They would work perfectly. So I have 3 shades of green and 3 shades of brown. Plus I chose a pink for some rosy cheeks as well. So let's get started with our shell. I'm going to cover each shell with my lightest colour, then my medium tone and some highlights, and then some of those darker tones. Then you'll also see me go back again with that lightest colour to blend in. So you can see there. I'm going to pick out some pieces. A good rule of thumb with highlights is to add them to the V-shaped areas. Anything round, you tend to want to leave a centerpiece empty. And then we'll go in with some even darker ones. I'm going to use the same principle on the browns. I'll show you on one and then I'll complete all of them. So I'm going in with a light shade, colouring in all of his toes. And then in the pads and the toenails, I made those all in the darkest shade. And finally add those little rosy cheeks. So I'm going to go down and do this on all of them. Now that I'm done colouring, we can add those final details using the Crackle and Glossy accents. So I'm going to alternate between the turtles, between the Glossy and the Crackle. They both work exactly the same way. I prefer these smaller bottles. I think they're easier to work with than the big bottle. Now we're going to add the Crackle accents. So again, I'm going to go over alternate shells, like this, just filling in those areas. Start with the outline and then fill in. I think the Crackle makes a really fun look on these turtles in particular. Maybe they're tortoises, like so. And then with the Crackle accents, if you add heat to it, it will affect the amount of crackle. So I like to take my Ranger Heat It tool and just add some extra crackle onto them as well. Just be quite gentle with it and you'll find that after maybe 20 to 30 minutes, it'll be fully dry and starts cracking. If you need to add a little bit more heat for extra cracking, you can do that too. You also want to be careful of that Glossy accents. It's a little delicate balance to get the two of them to dry simultaneously with the heat tool, so just be quite with a light touch. And then once you are done and they are all fully dry, your turtles will look like this. So you'll have these fun ones with these cracked shells and some smooth shells, and it has a really fun effect to it. Thank you so much for joining me here today at Scrapbook.com. Check out all of our exclusive bundles on the website, including all of these fabulous exclusive dies. Again, my name's Alexandra from Hedgehog Hello, and I'll see you for more inspiration very soon. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message. Happy crafting!